Welcome to Fox Netball. Round 9 is coming to a close. Just one last game. The Melbourne derby between the Mavericks and the Vixens. Sold out here at John Cain Arena. I'm Bianca Chatfield and alongside me is Caitlin Thwaites. Let's take a look at the Woolworths team cards. The Vixens, they're lining up with their usual attack end, Garvin, Austin and newly appointed Aussie Diamond squad member Hannah Mundy. Of course, Maloney, Weston, Mannix and Ellis, and then Shani Lambden has been brought into the side for Gabby Coffey, finding that replacement for Kate Eddy.
And for the Mavericks, the notable out is Cardwell this week. So Rolene Strupka takes a spot on the bench there, but Shimona Jock in at shooter, Gabby Sinclair at goal attack. And these defenders, the Mavericks defenders who were on fire last week, Amy Parmenter in at wing defence, Kim Jenner goal defence, and Liv Lewis at the back there at goalkeeper.
Let's go. Parmenter. Another squad member named this week. Hasn't she been in superb form?
She absolutely has. Last week in particular, as we see Emily Mannix with a huge block of that pass, setting her intention right from the first whistle.
Maloney. Mundy into the hands of Jovic. Parmenter dives. Lewis picks up. Lewis to Jovic. The intensity is real. You can see it on the faces of everyone out there on the court.
The crowd's involved early as well, which we'd love to see a sellout here, and they're vocal already as we see the first one go up and over the top for Jock.
And Jock enters the scoreboard with one, and that's a Harvey Norman replay of Emily Mannix straight away attacking the pass. Maloney. It's a stepping call against the Vixens captain. She's trying to seek clarification, but she's got to move on quickly.
Gabby Sinclair, we spoke about the fact that she's got a task ahead of her today, probably going to see a lot more minutes this week. But out there against the in-form Emily Mannix and going to have to shoulder a lot of that playmaking load with Cardwell being out today.
And of course, Jock and Alice up against each other in that circle. You can see them already jostling for position. Jock stands at 195 centimetres. Rudy Alice, 191. Mavericks get away quickly. Sinclair. Alice comes out flying straight away. Nankerville delivers to Jock. And the Mavericks out by 3.
Jock was on early there, but it was a really good patient play there by the Mavs.
Parmenter was looking for it, got the deflection.
Yeah, the Vixens been held up here just across that transverse line a couple of times. A lot of pressure being applied out the front from Parmenter and Jovic, both closing down a lot of that space at the top of the circle.
And the Vixens hit the scoreboard through Garvin. Now, if you've just joined us, Macy Nankerville, suspected broken nose, and she's wearing that face guard to protect her face. Said she'd do whatever it takes to make sure she can be out there with her side today. Really just steps up that little level of aggression, doesn't it, when you come with the face guard on.
What a ball there to hit Mundy at the top of the circle. The awareness to know that that's exactly where she was going. Just the slight execution at the end of that, not quite on, but that is looking dangerous, that ball speed.
Garvin second. The Mavericks out by 2. A low one to Jovic, in reply to a high one to Jock.
Sinclair keeping Mannix really busy out the front and isolating Jock and Alice under the ring. So we'll see how her entry continues to obviously allow that isolation.
Really great point there, Maddie. I think that's probably a really good way for them to be able to have significant impact with the load for Jock to be taking that shooting load. If Sinclair can keep her defender out of the circle, keep her interested. She's got to have enough of the ball in her hands to keep her player on her and not sinking back into that circle as a 2-on-1 on Jock.
We saw Sinclair have one of her better games of the season against the Smiths last week. She hits the deck, but Jock, as backup, steps forward. 5 from 5 for Shimona Jock. Weston takes the bump from Parmenter. Our umpires for today's game, Taylor Bennett, Nathan Begley, setting the standard early.
That's right, Kira. With the goal attack.
Liv Lewis giving Garvin a lot of attention, and of course Liv Lewis, only just last year, was with this Melbourne Vixens side, knows their game, you would think, pretty well, although not Garvin's.
Yeah, not had that training experience against Garvin, as Joe Weston just takes a bit of a knock at the top of the circle. We can see that physicality right from the get-go.
Sinclair steps back, avoids the hands of Mannix.
Yeah, an interesting one there. She actually stepped back almost behind the player that was out of play.
Looking for protection, perhaps. 176 centimetres, Gabby Sinclair is. Well shorter than the Vixens defenders as Rudy Ellis starts disrupting with her deflections. Mundy moves on quickly. Austin steadies, comes up short. The Mavericks trying to trap the Vixens as much as they can in the pockets. They break through.
Just a beautiful little triangle there to open up another angle of that into Sophie Garvin there.
And Garvin over the top of Jenna.
Yeah, that was actually from a lack of options there that one was forced to go up and over. There was not many options coming forward there for Kate Maloney, so throwing that one up and over, I think that's not quite what they would like to be doing all day.
There's Anderson net points, powered by E-Power. Molly Jovic leading the way on 22, followed by a couple of Vixens, and then Jock rounding us out on 10. Mundy. She scoops and collects.
Beautiful depth on second phase there from Hannah Mundy. We spoke about that in the pre-game. The confidence to be able to turn and let that go is because of how strong she is in the air and definite with her drives. Quick 1-2 from Nankerville and Sinclair.
Mundy. Straight away to Maloney. The Vixens trying to work with speed. They're not trying, they are.
The defence of the Mavericks, they are starting to attack some of those balls. It'd be great. This is this tempo, this change. Sometimes playing that ball, but also chucking in a balk to try and get that change of direction a little bit earlier.
The penalties are on your screen. It is the Vixens to the left with 9 and the Mavericks with 15 to the right.
And there's that 2-on-1 on Jock. The Vixens trying to sink back and put extra pressure on the goal shooter.
Garvin, just in the air, manages to get the front position over Jenna.
Kim Jenner already on 7 contacts in this first quarter. If they are going to build any pressure on that Vixens attack, she needs to stay in play and be a bit more disciplined.
It's something she's been tidying up in the previous rounds, but she is number 3 for penalties in the league and already sitting on 9. Sinclair. It is another contact call down the other end, this time against Alice. The Vixens, though, with the turnover, they can't believe it, the Mavericks. They're going to fight hard to win this back. Scores are even here. And Jenna, another contact penalty. Tracy Neville, you could just lip read there. That's unbelievable.
It's this clarification, as you see on the Harvey Norman replay, allowing that landing space, but also then being able to contest.
Maloney with the backup. Looks to Garvin and they find it. You talk about that triangle work.
Absolutely. Sophie Garvin doing a great job just to find the body of one of those defenders and have her on her back. And then the work from the ball out the front doing the job to open up the free side of her.
Christiana Manua just entered the game in at goalkeeper for Liv Lewis.
I wonder if we'll see a change at goal defence just to allow Kim Jenner a bit of breathing space to have a relook and think about the penalties and where they're coming from. We're in the Power 5 now. It's the Vixens out by 1. Mundy goes long. She's deep into the third. Lifts it up, and this time Jenner comes up with it.
Quick transition down the court from the Mavericks. Just choosing to go over the top of a lot of that mess.
Jovic gathers her balance, lifts it high to Jock.
Nice little screen there from Sinclair.
Let's look at the Harvey Norman replay here. This time Jenna steals it out of the air. Smart positioning from the goal defence.
Happy to go with the ones at the moment. Just ticking that scoreboard over.
Seamless play from the Mavericks. They've scored the last 3. Maloney has to give a short one across to Weston. Vixens attackers trying to split open the Mavericks defence. Through Garvin. She sings her ninth. Coach Simone McInnes and assistant coach Di Honey. A formidable pairing that have been together for over 10 years now as the coaching staff of the Vixens. Let's look at that Harvey Norman replay. Weston late getting tangled. And the Mavericks will take this time to reset. Scores are even.
See here the positioning of Rudy Ellis really looking like she's going to threaten and have a crack at that ball.
Vixens trying to cause doubt, but instead they open up a pathway clear to Shimona Jock.
Via the floorboards this time. We don't often see that.
Outstanding shooting from Jock. He's hitting it 100%. Parmenta navigated the intercept, but can't keep possession. Garvin. She said she wants to take more twos this season. Straight away she puts it down and allows Austin the opportunity. And Austin with the third Suncorp super shot of this Melbourne derby. Vixens now out by 1. Maloney hits the deck. Across court they go. Nankivell lifts it to Jock. And the Mavs settle for 1.
Both of these Vixens players over the transverse line off that centre pass, meaning that there wasn't a lot of options further down the court. You don't often see that from the Vixens. They're pretty good at only having one over the line.
The Mavericks forcing them into uncomfortable positions. But this one's pretty comfortable for Kira Austin as she sinks her second super shot in a row. The Vixens out by 2. Jovic. The Mavericks really exploiting the bounce pass in attack.
Looking for the 2 here. With the options over the top again with the bounce pass back to Sinclair.
And Gabby Sinclair. She shot 2 Suncorp Super Shots last round.
She's sitting at number 1 for the most accuracy for Super Shots, Sinclair. 74% from the 2-point range.
And it was interesting watching how Shimona Jock screened her off to allow that space for her to sink behind her. We'll keep an eye on that play. No doubt it's something that the Mavericks have been working on during the week, knowing Eleanor Cardwell was going to be out. Jenna with the centre pass. Across they go to Sinclair. They lift it up high. Plenty of elevation from Shimona Jock.
The placement on those feeds to Jock are superb. Alice is really struggling to be able to contest or get even a tip to it.
Maddie, I don't know if you can see, but the glimpse and the little smile from Tracy Neville and Nicole Richardson, they're absolutely loving what they're seeing out there right now. Although, what we've got on screen right now does not show that. Nicole Richardson looks concerned.
Austin just
Mundy, can she balance?
A few more ab rollouts there, Mundy.
She's grateful for the penalty. Under 10 seconds, the Vixens out by 1. Can the Mavericks hit the scoreboard one last time? It's a contact call against Alice. Jock can take her time. And we go to the quarter time break. The scores are even here at John Cain Arena.
Well, the Vixens, they were pretty calm and composed, but they said they want to keep the ball moving and the ball speed in attack. As there you go, well done there by the Mavericks to get Mundy over the line, but they feel like they're getting a little bit too stagnant, so a little bit more movement there from Coach Di Honey.
Well, the second quarter, we get under the way with a Vixens goal by Garvin. No changes out on court other than Liv Lewis back into keeper for the Mavericks.
We heard just the grab or the wrap there from Rudy Ellis, using the arms a little bit too much.
Wouldn't have been a grab, would it? Defenders don't do that. Mundy again, straight over with the centre pass received. Austin lifts it high to Garvin. It was a 2-on-1. Sophie Garvin did well.
Got a fence come beside her.
It shows the confidence that they have in her to be able to release and give that ball when she's still got 2 defenders on her.
Such a strength at goal shooter. She doesn't necessarily have the height like other shooters in the league, or the height as Rudy Ellis does down in defence.
Not enough on that pass from the Mavs, and feeding probably from a little bit too far off that circle.
Mundy sighted Garvin quickly, lifted it, hoped it got in there. Here's the one from Jovic.
Yeah, Rudy Ellis, great footwork there she had a little bit of space so that she could use her momentum to get back and up for that one on the Harvey Norman replay.
Kim Jenner smartly swoops across the back of Kira Austin.
It was a great double defence there on Austin on the centre pass to show how hard it's going to be for her to get it and hopefully push Mundy over.
Just having a look, Parmenta in the background is trying to call time. She's hurt her hand.
It's a dislocated little pinky on her right hand.
Ouch, that is so painful. She's heading off the court now. Straight away, Taylor Fraser in at wing defence. You can see, we'll get Maddie to keep an eye on that one.
Vixens trying to take that centre pass there. We know all too well that they're on to the centre passes, knowing whose it is.
Impressive take from Jock. She's now out with 15 goals to her name. Huge ball, Weston to Garvin. They settle back to Maloney.
Joe Weston will be upset that wasn't a goal assist.
Every goal defence loves a goal assist. Should I say wing defence?
Update on Amy Parmenta. She's had a little bit of a hand massage there with that right hand pinky. It's back in place. It will be strapped up. I'm sure we'll see her injected back into the game shortly.
You make it sound so calm, Maddie. Just a nice little hand massage to pop that pinky in place. Easy one, Nankerville. Vixens out by 2. There's Eleanor Cardwell, the star shooter for the Mavericks, out with a quad injury. Said she'll be back next week. A contact call. Now, this matchup between Jovic and Maloney is really heating up in the middle.
Two players that absolutely will never say die. They're almost the barometer for their teams, aren't they, in terms of the relentless work rate that they have.
Jovic sitting first in the league for pickups.
She also actually does the bulk of the feeding and the goal assists for the Mavericks from that centre role. A lot of the time, majority of the time, we see the wing attacks or even the goal attacks playing that extra feeder role, but for her to be doing that from centre shows exactly how involved she is in their attack line.
The Vixens' defensive pressure pushes the ball over the base. Maloney gets out of jail. Another penalty. Alice has to go long. One the difference. Garvin finds a position across the back of Jenna. Again, along the baseline, she's falling out. She gets the backup, there's too much on it.
And the Vixens almost took that one off each other, causing that turnover. They didn't know who was going for it.
But it fell in the hands of Molly Jovic. She is everywhere.
Always got her eyes up, ready for the scraps, wasn't she?
I'm also loving the variation in the Mavs attack. They're sometimes doing that high ball into Jock, but a nice fast in the guts one on that one, just to change it up so it's not so predictable.
Hands over pressure from Fraser. Puts her out of play. And as you can see, that Garvin and Austin just trying to force the front, trying to hold the screen.
We're just trying to work together to be able to open up something. A lot of the time coming together, the defenders need to be moving around on the outside, but can quite often be holding that space that becomes free, and one of you is inadvertently screened for the other one off those when the shooters come together. Ellis!
Rudy Ellis, impressive in the air, impressive timing.
Again with that front position, just going straight up with the two hands.
Definitely the pass is falling short, but also you see Jock coming off the hold a little bit too early, so needs to stand a little bit taller and stronger for a bit longer.
Come over here. Joe, over here. Yeah.
You can hear the crowd having a bit of a laugh at Joe Weston and Nankerville. So the Mavericks defenders, are they trying to keep the Vixen shooters together when they can, or are they trying to break them apart?
Trying to break them apart. They want to be able to have one, them not being able to work together. When they can work together, they can protect space for each other that the ball can come into.
Straight away, it is an Austin to Garvin, protecting the space for each other. That connection continues to build. Incredible shooting percentage too. Both sitting above 88%. Alice again! A deflection. She picks it up. The Vixens are away. Look at the Harvey Norman replay here. It's her positioning and footwork. So impressive. Of course, Rudy Ellis coming across from West Coast Fever. Here's our nested net points powered by E-Power. Every Vixen in the top 5 except for Shimona Jock sitting there in 4th, but Sophie Garvin, player of the match last week for the Vixens against the Giants. And continuing on that way, it is a HCF tactical timeout.
Straight back to this one. Create the 2v1. She throws it somewhere else, and then straight back up to her. Really good job, hustling. Get her on your back all the time so you can see middle. Offset a pass. If you know she's not hitting first phase, slip it behind her and push her forward. That's an idea. Goalkeeper. Working it, work it. Let's go. Let's go, girls. When there's an error, we don't change it again, okay? You want to do the excellent out there. The intensity is all the way up. Keep that going all the way to the end. Let's go. Let's go. Mongo, 3-1.
strategy there from Nicole Richardson. Really talking to Jenna about creating the 2 versus 1, trying to talk the Vixens out of throwing that ball into the Vixens shooters, and then being able to go and pick up your own player again. So eliminating the most threatening play and then being able to get yourselves back up to your player.
So far in the second quarter, it is the Vixens leading the way by 4. Maddie, what did you hear from the Vixens?
Well, Simone McKinnon said this is a moment for us. They're obviously leading, but this is a time to even push ahead. So let's see what the Vixens can create on this next centre pass.
Beautiful up the middle there from Sophie Garvin. Just cracking open that goal third. And a little offload, just keeping Austin ticking over with her shot as well.
We spoke about the feeling and the emotion around a derby, and this is where it really comes into play out on court. The intensity lifts, the crowd gets involved. What team can stay composed and also stick to their game plan will come out on top in today's game.
Being able to make those little adjustments in the moment too, I think is really important. We've seen a few, Ellis get her hands on a few, and we talked about the versatility of Jock maybe being on a front hold for a little bit, taking Ellis, her ability out of that. So it'll be interesting to see whether they've made some of those adjustments.
Garvin mistimes it, but the Vixens still in possession. Mundy. The blonde bun club of the Melbourne Vixens in attack.
I wouldn't be welcome.
Me either. If you're getting confused at home, don't worry, we do too. Jovic goes long, goes high, has no other option. Jock fumbles, she puts it on the ground. Sinclair swoops across. And Alice again, the lean. Maddox gets amongst it. A real team effort for the defenders of the Vixens.
Step across with her.
Maloney to Austin. Mundy hits the top of the circle. What will she go with? They swing it across, breaks open through the baseline.
Really dynamic movements in the circle from those shooters, Katie. They're really starting to get their heads turning of the Mavs defence.
They are, and having that movement where the two of them are constantly on the move, one of them's not just stationary and the defenders don't know where they are, means that it's starting to turn the heads of the defenders. Christiana Manua just claps her hands together.
Another footwork call against Kate Maloney. Sinclair to Jovic. Nankiville working hard against Weston. Weston hits the deck, but it's a contact call. It was a charge call. The tagging, relentless pressure, Joe Weston has been showcasing at wing defence. Oh, Kim Jenner!
Beautifully timed intercept there, just coming through with the line and the flight of the ball.
You get the feeling a vital turnover for the Mavericks. Can they make it count?
Very vital here, B. They're only sitting at 25% of their gained conversion, so they have to make this moment count, especially going into the Power 5.
Harvey Norman replay. Kim Jenner swoops across. Jovic, she drops it. The Vixens continue to punish. Well kept in by Mundy. They're not doing it cleanly. It's certainly not pretty, but they're continuing on their winning ways, the Vixens. They're out by 6.
Smart there, starting position from Kira Austin, just starting off the line, enabling them to be able to hit her on that second phase, getting the depth, leaving Hannah Mundy on that first phase, but not getting so caught up that all of them are over the top of the transverse line.
Both Mavericks defenders stand out. Allow Kira Austin Her third Suncorp super shot, 3 from 3. Jovic to Nankerveld. Sinclair playing a feeding role right now to Jock.
And better positioning from Jock, taking that front position away from Ellis, where Ellis has been very effective. Quick offload to the pocket for Mundy.
Austin. Garvin goes for the 2, comes up short. I got confused then. Jovic, look at the quick play from Sinclair. Jovic and Jock, all former Magpies players, now Mavericks. Another win for the Vixens, just off the hand of Jock.
Yeah, disappointing not to have finished that one off. It was a really quick transition. It took a lot of composure for Jovic just to take a beat before she threw that feed into the shooter. Vixens here having to reset. Go back to the line. 2-on-1 in the circle. Let's see what they can set up.
Mundy under all sorts of pressure from Taylor Fraser. And Fraser wins the contact call. Jovic. You can see Shimona Jock, all the space behind her, trying to create something for the Mavericks. You see Jock there, she's holding, she's screening. Can they get it to Sinclair? Weston sneaks through, disrupts it, lets them reset. Jock holding, Maddox all over it. Nearly caught by the crowd in those front seats. This time they find Jock. She steps in and settles for 1. Let's look at the Harvey Norman replay. Smartly covered from Mannix.
Yeah, the shorter player drifting into that back space, maybe not the smartest option for the Mavericks shooters.
Perhaps putting in something a little bit different for the Mavericks will help them break open this Vixens defence. That certainly will do it. Sinclair with the Suncorp super shot. The Vixens out by 4. And look at that, the Mavericks with the last 3. Just over 1:15 to play in this second quarter. Austin. The hot hand of Kira Austin delivers the Vixens with their 4th Suncorp super shot.
Well, big high hands there, just meaning that Nankerveld didn't see Sinclair back in that circle by herself.
Sinclair for 2. Brilliant play from Gabby Sinclair.
Great to see that she's going to the post unfazed, given that she's had a shot tipped and stopped already.
Austin cuts through the front of Jenna. I thought Jenna had clean hands on the ball. Not to be. I tell you what, Kira Austin, what blistering performance it has been from her so far in this first half. The Mavericks, they fight for everything. 5 seconds. They're taking their time. They need to get it in. There's Jock. She pulls the penalty. The Mavericks will take every single point they can. Well, let's get straight to the coach of the Melbourne Mavericks, Tracy Neville. Tracy, thank you for joining us. What have you made of that first half?
That Richo can't talk to me while I've got my headset on.
Richo, just quieten down. It's not about you right now.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's just brain fart errors. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, you're getting the ball down there. It's really fluid, and then we're making silly mistakes. But from our point of view as well, we need to build that pressure in defence, but we also need to be in the contest as well. So obviously we went to the umpires to clarify what we need to do to obviously get out of their whistle.
And Tracy, how does the attack line adjust to what's going on out there? Obviously, Ellis has got her hands on a couple of feeds in. How do you get around that? What are the adjustments that need to be made?
Well, when you feed a 6'2" shooter at her feet, you tend to have a problem, don't you? So we just need to get that ball up higher into Shimona, put the ball where she's at her strength, and yeah, and that, you know, Bob's your uncle.
Trace,
seems simple, doesn't it?
Trace, where do you want this game to open up from your team to really have a challenge at winning this contest?
We obviously need some defensive pressure here. We need some ball back. That's important from our defenders now. We cannot be putting pressure on our shooters going into that 2-point time. And, you know, we're only in the third quarter, and it's about churning each goal out as it goes through.
Well, no more brain farts and Bob's your uncle, according to Tracy Netball. Thank you so much for joining us, Tracy.
Sorry.
Love the insights that we get here at Fox Netball. All the coaches so happy to jump on the mic, and Tracy's still laughing that that's what she said. Honest moments, that's what we get, Katie.
Absolutely. Unfiltered.
Straight away, they lift the ball to Jock. And now the Mavericks creeping back. Garvin. Maloney. Watch the movement from the Vixens attackers.
Really great balance in that circle then. It was awesome to see that Kira Austin getting that depth actually allows and releases the shooter to come out of that circle. If the goal attack's caught really high, a lot of the time you don't want your shooter coming out and joining the party out there as well. You want somebody to be ahead of the ball, and if the goal attack is closer to the circle, it means the shooter can come out and release some of that pressure.
Jock, her 24th for the game, sitting at 96%. Mundy, high to Weston. Maddie, one thing Simone McKinnon said pre-game was she was really going to focus on their gain ball conversion. How is that looking at the moment?
Well, they definitely were sitting up in the 70s, but just in these first couple of minutes, it's gone straight down to 50%. So it's definitely an area that needs to be a bit more consistent for the Vixens, so I'm sure they'll want to ramp it up here.
Of course, no changes across the court for both sides in this second half. The Vixens, we often see players sitting on the bench for them. We don't see it across the league, but the Vixens primarily put their 7 out there, and if they can get the job done, they leave them. But there is Lily Graham to the right of your screen, Ruby Barkmeyer in the middle, and Shani Landon, who's been injected into the 10 this week. And the reasons behind that from the coaching staff of the Vixens, they wanted someone who could cover wing defence and centre, with obviously Kate Eddy still being unavailable. And Shani Lambden is that player.
She's obviously been a part of the Vixens environment, training partner for quite a few years, so great to see that she's still ready and available.
Austin balks it one way. Eventually, Garvin sinks the 42nd goal for the Melbourne Vixens. They take their lead out to 6.
Kim Jenner off that centre pass. She's been quite heavily involved in those centre pass receives, and being able to get it down on the attacking transverse line as Ellis gets her hands, a few tips on another one.
You couldn't do much more, Rudy Ellis. She was sitting in front. However, the athleticism of Shimona Jock shine through.
Maisie Nankerveld just getting a sneaky little hand in with the turnover, and Molly Jovic making sure that that one counts into the safe hands of Shimona Jock.
Harvey Norman replay there. I reckon that's the 4 centimetres that Jock has her on height. Jovic, again, they lift it up. This time, a convincing take from Shimona Jock.
Much better placement by the Mav centre courts too, putting it opposite to where Alice is, but also she is moving, but putting in a balk and then being really definite with that feed.
The Mavericks leading this third quarter by 2. How quick the scoreboard can change. 3 the difference. Austin makes it 4.
The umpire just explaining that was the arm, that was the bit grabby with the arms.
We're learning so much. Jovic, Sinclair swoops across, lifts it high.
Gabby Sinclair doing a great job for me, keeping Emily Mannix really busy and focused on her. The fact that she's getting that ball nice and close to be able to be involved in the feeds.
Sinclair sitting on 50 miss and net points. Down the other end, Sophie Garvin, also 51.5, 90% shooting. Jock. She seemed to be in the air for such a huge amount of time then. Rudy Ellis, I don't know if she's been hit in the nose, in the face.
Yeah, she's grabbed at her face a couple of times. I think just the limbs catching her face as she's going up for some of those. Strong take from Austin. And great give and go, just carving through the Magpies' defence, taking advantage of a defender who's overrun.
Kira Austin, such a playmaker of this Vixens attack. A short one. Sinclair takes the opportunity when she can. 6 from 8 in regular time for Gabby Sinclair. Vixens out by 3. Maloney lifts it to Garvin. They get the contact.
You can see a real change in that Mavs defence. They've been shutting down that middle channel. So Garvin hasn't been coming out a lot, Katie. So different avenues to post for the Vixens, but they've been really patient and disciplined to get it to circle edge.
And I love the way that Maloney has actually really increased her feeds and her goal assists this year. Obviously, huge change for them not having Lizzie Watson by her side, but I think that Maloney has really come into her own in that attacking game. I think she relied really heavily on the feeding of Watson, and she's absolutely stepped that up this year. Experienced head taking charge in attack.
The decision-making from the Vixens, the way they've flowed through in attack. There are plenty of options. Jenna scoops it up. Lewis picks it up. The Mavericks, they're up for the fight. Parmenta. Nankiville. You can see Jock, she's got 2 defenders on her. She still keeps her hand in the air. And Mannix says, absolutely no way, you are not getting this one. Mundy. And Garvin. Let's take a look at the miss and net points powered by E-Power. That lady on your screen, Kira Austin. The Vixens goal attack, the Diamonds goal attack, sitting on 92, followed by her shooting teammate in Sophie Garvin, but a huge first half it has been for Kira Austin.
And that there was the play that the Mavericks have been trying to shut down. When Hannah Mundy is dangerous, she's at the top of the circle. They had 3 defenders close on her on that second phase just then, and it caused an error.
Sinclair just gets chopped on the arm by Mannix.
Manoa back into the game at goalkeeper for Lewis.
Opportunity now, Sinclair from the base. Oh, Alice. She blocks the shot. And the crowd here at John Cain Arena don't like it. But the Mavericks back within 4.
Kim Jenner again involved in that centre pass. Mavericks needing to go back. Not as many options forward.
Jock steps forward. We're in the power 5. Vixens out by 3. Absolutely dominating the deflection stat for Melbourne Vixens. Mundy resets.
Again, just that key role. Kira Austin just popping out, providing that link and the smarts to draw a penalty. She'll take her time on this 2-point shot here.
The super shot strategy delivers 6 from 6 for Sophie Garvin.
Here at Austin.
Oh. This blonde bun brigade.
The strategy changes, the Vixens defenders both doubling on Sinclair.
Austin just shoulders the pressure from Amy Parmenter. Fun fact, Amy Parmenter is Kira Austin's bridesmaid in the off-season. Obviously former Giants teammates, now both in Melbourne.
That's fine.
Here we go, Kira Austin. What a performance. 7 from 7 Suncorp super shots for Kira Austin. Now if the scoreline stays around the way it is with the Vixens leading, they will sit on top of the ladder by the end of this game. With the Fever losing to the Thunderbirds on Saturday night. Maloney, this time, Garvin with one, comes up short. Manua, hands on it. From the exact same position, this time it counts on the scoreboard.
Vixens trying that set play with Kira Austin back off the line, just needing to utilise their wing defence and goal defence to get that ball through.
Garvin.
Few changes here for the Vixens. You see Taylor Fraser wanting to come on in wing defence and Rolling Strutter come on into goal shooter. So 2 prongs there for the 2-point shot for the Mavs.
See what that can do for the Mavericks. Rolling Strutka. Of course, she was part of the team at Team Girls Cup. Has played in 2 games early on this season, been out with an ankle injury, and Kira Austin stands on the transverse line. What can't she do?
Impressive intercept stats for Kira Austin, up there with some of the defenders.
We see it every single week. That's where the defensive pressure is relentless from this Vixens lineup. They don't switch off.
The intercepts there, 6-4, and Hannah Mundy just giving away an attacking contact, provides the Mavericks with an opportunity.
Vixens out by 9, Nankivell. She drops it, she fumbles. Alice lifts it high, Jenna flies. I'll take that. Weston resettles with a throw-in, another penalty call. This time it's against Fraser.
Jock back injected into the game at goal shooter.
That was a quick change-up. Garvin takes the Vixens out. This is the biggest lead the Vixens have had. They've scored the last 5. They're now out by 10. Just under a minute to play in the third. One thing we haven't had a lot of is tactical timeouts, Katie.
Yeah, and I actually think that really quick rolling sub there from Rolling Strutka was to deliver a message to Jock. Jock has just come back out on the court, gone straight up to Sinclair on the transverse line and shared whatever that message was from the coaches.
And she came out with a lot of tenacity then. And unfortunately for her, comes up with a contact call. But Jovic...
Again, these Mavericks defenders closing on whoever is driving into that middle space for the Vixens. Jovic coming up with that one. Great to see she had eyes for it. And a bit of frustration creeping in with these drop balls.
Austin. You get the feeling this is the settler for everybody out there on court. The ball's been chopping and changing hands with both sides. Maloney tries to hang on to it. But Garvin, she sinks it from falling out of court. Phenomenal from the Vixen shooters. They've taken their lead out by 12, the biggest lead we've seen in this game. Well, the Melbourne Derby has everything. Look at this Harvey Norman replay. Sinks back, just sneaks it in a matter of seconds. It is 12 the difference. The Vixens, they're ahead, and they certainly were dominant in that third quarter. Out by 7 in the third. Just listen to the crowd here. It is absolutely packed out. So great to see. Sinclair to Parmenter. Nankervis in the centre now. Hits the top of the circle, back to Sinclair.
Yeah, Gabby Sinclair doing a lot of work here, almost getting every second ball on that trip down the court. You get the feeling that with this margin, a lot is sitting on her shoulders to be able to make up that come Power 5 time.
That closing speed from Kim Jenner, she's so close. Contesting that centre pass. Mundy goes to the safe option. Maloney wants to lift it up. The hands are everywhere of the Mavericks.
Kira Austin just swinging that ball with the drive to draw that defender, open up the one-on-one for Sophie Garvin. Kira Austin again with the hand in defensively. And the Vixens defenders chase it up.
Austin, there we go, Parmenter. The two best mates. They'll worry about that one after the game.
Trading bruises.
Yes. Austin does look like she is a bit uncomfortable after that fall.
Yeah, Amy Parmenter sitting off the body and really trying to pick that line to go for those intercepts. A part of the Mavericks' defensive structure. Hannah Mundy.
Quick to Austin.
So dangerous near the circle edge.
She'll have to be one of the fastest players in the competition. Parmenter. Great feed into Nankervis.
And beautiful preliminary work there to lose Maloney higher up the court, opening up that space for Nankervis to end up on the top.
And Jock settles with one more for the Mavericks. Mundy getting all the attention on the centre pass. A double team effort. Garvin sits on her own. Kim and Jenna has a look. You get the feeling this is part of Richo's plan, the assistant coach of the Mavericks.
Inside.
The Vixens shooters just playing a switch of roles there. Kira Austin back in the circle.
Body to offside, quick defend.
And Garvin just to change things up, keep their defenders guessing.
Body shot out.
The power of having two dominant shooters for the Vixens, although Sophie Garvin is certainly the most dominant on court in regular time, shooting 40 from 43. Kira Austin, she's only 8 from 9, but 7 Suncorp super shots. Alice picks it up. She's on their way, but the umpire says, let's just take it back, reset.
Beautiful space there from Maloney, but no shooters in the circle to link up with. Just needing to do a couple more out and ins, allow the shooters time to get back in there.
Just official crowd number for you, 9,022 here at John Cain Arena.
The biggest ever for the Vixens in a home and away season game. And I also see Molly Jovic coming on to wing attack for Taylor Fraser.
We also should note that Sophie Garvin and Liv Lewis, Western Australians, are both wearing black armbands to acknowledge the passing of Liz Booth, and she's played a huge key role for both of them coming through the WA pathway, and we saw that with the West Coast Fever wearing the armbands for Liz as well. Our condolences go out to Liz's family, and of course the coaches for the Melbourne Vixens are wearing their armbands in honour of Kathy Gillespie, a Vic pathway player, and a coach who Simone and Di both know very well. She passed away two during the week. A sad week for two netball greats. Vixens out by 16.
And just putting a foot out of court here was Gabby Sinclair. Vixens back on attack. Beautiful, strong ball from Austin to Mundy, back to Austin on the drive.
That depth down court has really caused havoc for the Mavericks, hasn't it, Katie? It's just that quick release, but confidence to just let a big ball go.
And disappointing that they can't finish off the play. It was beautiful.
Too much on it for Jovic. She stretched out as far as she could. This is something against the Giants last week that we thought the Vixens were going to put their foot down. They didn't as much as they wanted to.
You think that it might have been something that they addressed during the week. Let's see if they can push out this lead. So we have a look at the Nissan net points here. Kira Austin, 129.
That is huge for Kira Austin. The Nissan net points powered by E-Power. Absolutely dominant. Jock, the only Maverick sitting in that top 5. It is a HCF tactical timeout. Let's take a listen in.
We decide how we want to lose this. Do we want to lose like we've not been training well, like we haven't been playing well? We want to win like we're fucking good netballers, okay? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Pick it up, you girls. Here we go.
Just apologies for that language in the Mavericks huddle, but they're pretty fired up. They're pretty passionate. They want to be performing better. They are down by 17 in this final quarter. They're down just in this, Katie, in this final quarter by 5. And the ladder at the moment as it stands, if the Vixens continue on their way, they will go straight to the top of the ladder. The West Coast Fever giving them the opportunity after going down to the Adelaide Thunderbirds. You talk about a team who really broke down and learned a lot from their round 1 challenge against each other. The Thunderbirds were all over the Fever across the court.
You get a feeling that this is about finding the character of this team. Obviously, Parmenter saying we don't want to be losing like this. You know, finding that character. How do we want to be out there playing?
And there's Parmenter, their captain. She fires it down the court quickly. Weston just a little confused as to what's happening. She stands aside with a smile on her face.
Weston has been huge in terms of the pressure that she applies, and I think she's been fairly understated in terms of the statistics and things that she has been putting out there on court, but absolutely formidable opponent, and the role that she plays within this Vixens defence, being able to swing across and cover Kate Eddy, who's been out, her dominance as a goal defence, and that combination as Alice sees that one a mile away.
Rudy Alice, 2 intercepts, 4 deflections, sitting on 68 Nissan net points.
Have a look at that Harvey Norman replay. She read it like a book.
You talk about Jo Weston. Last week she had 6 Nissan net points for 60 minutes. Didn't have hardly any stats to her name, maybe 1 pickup I think it was. However, it's her workload. It's the way she tags out a wing attack. We're so used to seeing her at goal defence for the Diamonds and for the Vixens, but this season has really taken on that role at wing defence. She's now sitting on 29.5 Nissan net points.
She's the definition of the human backpack, I think.
A relentless role, as every wing defence knows out there, but so crucial to the success of a team.
And that's partly the reason why the likes of Mannix has been absolutely shining, as we see a rare air ball there from Kira Austin, just going straight over the top.
Ladies, we heard Simone McInnes talk about potentially bringing on a Lily Graham. Is now the time you do it? Or if they go top of the ladder, is percentage something that they're working on in this final quarter?
I would have thought it's an opportunity right now. Just under 7 minutes to play. You've got a very convincing lead, 18-point lead. Will we see a change?
Think about that building towards finals, and yes, percentage is hugely important, but you also want to know that the players who have been sitting on the bench can get out there and do it, not get overawed by the occasion if they're needed to jump in at any time.
Well, it is a stark difference, isn't it, between, if you look at the top of the table, Fever use their bench a lot. And I've just seen Simone McInnes give Lily Graham the nod, go and warm up. Great call, Maddie Brown. Thunderbirds use their bench. Fever use their bench. The Lightning use their bench. The Vixens now. Lily Graham will enter the game. Only her second appearance for the Vixens this season.
And a big cheer as she comes on behind play. The youngster come through the Victorian pathway.
And she's on at goal attack. Maloney
overlooks her for a very clear pass. There we go. Providing lots more options, and that's what is required at this level. Lots of options.
Comes up short, Garvin with the rebound.
I'm interested to see what Mundy does in this situation as well. You know, this is the future for the Vixens, so to see how this combination can go, it's exciting to see.
Gabby Sinclair, the clock just ticking.
She waits a little bit longer, but probably a bit of the story of the last half for the Mavericks. Things just haven't been going their way. The pressure of the Vixens is mounting.
And that wasn't the case in their first clash in round one. The second half, they actually drew the second half, so it's almost been, this match has flipped. They were well within the game at half-time, and the Vixens have just put their foot down.
The Mavericks smothering that middle channel. Maloney breaks it open. Garvin.
The Mavs has really struggled down that one end of the court, so whether it's an adjustment in their penalty count, something that they might need to have a look at throughout the week to make sure if this happens again, they're all over it and got other options.
Clinical play for the Vixens in attack. Nothing's changed since Graham's entered the game. They're now out by 20. Lily Graham, she's played 6 minutes in round 3 against the Giants, but didn't nail a goal. How important will this be for her, Katie, to try and get her confidence?
It'll be huge for the youngster to be able to just settle in, get the monkey off your back, start to feel like, you know what, I can do this at this level.
And Graham, there she goes! Her first shot, her first goal, and it is a Suncorp super shot for the youngster for the Vixens.
And you can see Hannah Mundy get around her. Or the bounce pass didn't quite come off. Jovic all over that one.
I think if they could have, the defenders would have run down like a goal.
Now that is an important thing to tick off for Lily Graham. Especially see what happens in this back end of the season coming into finals. She is part of the Vixens 10. Sinclair.
Well, Rudy Ellis just going down here, grabbing that ankle.
She looks in a lot of pain. Weston straight to her.
And the Vixens medical staff running straight out on court.
Let's take a look at the Harvey Norman replay. Oh, she just twisted that ankle as she went up to take on that shot. Now we talk about changes. Now the Vixens have been forced into a change. Shani Lambden is coming on. This is her second game for the Vixens. She debuted 2 years ago in this exact derby, except it was the Magpies and not the Mavericks. And you can hear the John Cain Arena crowd just cheering for Rudy Ellis. What a phenomenal game she has had. 82.5 missing net points, 3 intercepts, 5 deflections. She deserves a round of applause from the Vixens fans. Let's hope she's okay.
She did actually grab at the back of her foot, so hopefully it's not an Achilles and just an ankle tweak.
Well, Maddie, we're going to put you to work so you can find out all the details about that injury.
Oh, one goes right over the top to Shani Lambden. Her arms aren't that long, Joe Weston.
I think she confused you, Katie, for a former teammate of hers. She sent it straight your way. Sinclair for 2. Balks it across, finds Jock eventually. Somehow gets it again. Just can't land for the Mavericks.
She's doing a great job of fighting for those rebounds, though, with the double pressure over the top of the shot.
Sinclair has another go. Here we go. This time it lands. 4 Suncorp super shots for Gabby Sinclair. There's Eleanor Cardwell on screen. Wishes she was out there, no doubt. The Vixens out by 20. Jock puts it down to Sinclair. They fumble. Again, it's dropped. The hands of Joe Weston knocked it out. They were really waiting for the call, the Mavericks. Great, here we go. Sinclair.
The ability to keep working that ball around to get them into shooting range. They're obviously wanting to just keep putting up these 2-point shots to try and etch into that lead that the Vixens have got.
It takes a while, but this time it connects. Maloney, quick to get under play for the Vixens. Mundy using all the strength she can to make sure she's protected with the ball. Graham, cross to Lambden. Could have been a replay. Garvin swings it across. The Vixens attack.
Yeah, not ideal from the Vixens attack being split both sides of the circle rather than having someone at the top. Lily Graham just setting up the play here.
And Garvin steps back. Huge performance from Sophie Garvin. That was her 50th goal. She shot 50 last week. Returns to the 50 club this week. Sinclair swoops along the baseline. Wants it again. Here she goes. Stunning shooting from Gabby Sinclair. The Vixens lead by 17. Garvin, she settles. And she joins the Suncorp Super Shot Club. That's one for her. And the Melbourne Vixens, they make it 2 from 2 in these hometown derby. Season 2024, they continue to climb up that ladder. They now secure top position on their own. A 19-point win to the Melbourne Vixens and a stunning last 3 quarters for them. However, it has come with an injury, and that is to Rudy Ellis. We wait to hear the update from Rudy Ellis and what looked like an ankle injury, but a great performance and great to get the youngster Lily Graham and of course Shani Lambden out there on court for the Vixens. As they come together, no doubt talking about what a moment to shoulder the pressure the Mavericks put on in that first half and to come out as 19-point winners straight to the top of the ladder for the Melbourne Vixens. And now it's straight across to Maddie for our player of the match, powered by Arnott's Vitaweed.
Thanks, Media. I am here with Kira Austin. You did a wealth of work out the front, 21 goal assists, 19 centre pass receives, but also so much in the ring. How are you finding your game? Because I think you're going to another level. Do you feel like you picked up another notch?
Yeah, like I do. I think, you know, it's a choice to go out there every week and really put your foot down and work hard and drive onto the balls. I think I was a bit slow to start and kind of finding my feet a bit, and then yeah, just really wanted to put the foot down.
Do you also focus on defence? Because as we said, you're great in attack, but you also every single week get your hand on some ball. Is that a key focus for you?
I think I get more satisfaction from an intercept than a super shot, but my sister's a defender, so maybe that's where I get it from.
Now, your combination with Garvin is obviously strong, but we also saw the injection of Lily Graham and shot her first shot, first encounter on home, turf. How have you found, obviously, working with a youngster as well?
Oh, she's the best. She comes into training every week and just really puts her head down work. She's asking questions the whole time, so we're stoked that we could put the work in to get her out there and have a taste of what Super Netball's like. She's only 18, God love her, and she's absolutely killing it.
She keeps the older, more experienced and a bit youthful, Kiri, doesn't she? Now, you went off with Rudy Alice. We're hoping it's just an ankle. How was it back there?
Yeah, I think she's okay. It's probably more of the shock element. I think it's just a tweak to the ankle, but she's strong. She'll be bouncing right back.
And diamond selection through the week. Is it nice to kind of have it done and, obviously announced because you can kind of play with a bit more freedom, or do you feel the pressure? Is it still the same the first time as well as, this time hearing?
I think, diamonds is obviously a bonus, and this time of the year I'm fully focused on Vixens, and we're going every week as it comes, and we really have our eyes on winning the premiership this year. So it was a really nice phone call to get, and now it's back into Vixens land.
And next week you're up to the sunny coast. They obviously got the wood over you last time here at John Cain Arena. You're hoping to get another one up on them up there?
Oh, we'll be desperate to go back up there and play them again. I think as soon as we walked off the court from that game, all we wanted to do was to go back out there and try over. So they're coming, really well. They're coming from strength at the moment. So I think we'll be very keen to go up there and give them a red hot crack.
Well, it's a pleasure watching you play, Kira. All the best next week.
Thanks, Mads.
The ultimate professional on the court and off, Kira Austin, our player of the match. Let's look at that ladder right now. The Vixens on 32 points go straight to the top. They now have one game breathing space, and as you heard, their next game is against the Sunshine Coast Lightning, the only team that has beaten them so far this season.